Hey guys, and welcome back to Bee's Kitchen. Thank you once again for stepping into my kitchen, and if you are new to this channel, welcome, and please do not forget to subscribe. As usual, I have a new recipe for you guys. Now on the menu today, I will be showing you guys how to make coconut oil beans stew. Guys, this bean stew is everything. The traditional way of making bean stew in Ghana is by using palm oil, but I tried the coconut version in Ghana and this changed my life. If you prefer using palm oil, guys, there's nothing wrong with that, but how about you come out of your shell and just try this coconut oil version and let me know in the comments below. Stay with me and let's get started. For the bean stew recipe, I will be using some black-eyed beans. I also have some tinned mackerel fillet. Feel free to use any type of cooked meat or grilled mackerel. I have tomato puree and I'm using coconut oil for this recipe. Feel free to use palm oil if you prefer. I have some tinned tomato, garlic, ginger, some Scotch Bonnets, and some onions. I will blend one of the onions with the Scotch Bonnet, ginger and garlic, and I will chop one for the sauce. I will list everything in the description below. Now time to wash the beans. If you have enough time, after washing the beans, soak the beans in water for at least 2 hours or preferably overnight. Soaking the beans in water will soften the beans, which will then help shorten the cooking time. I did not have enough time to soak my beans as I was craving bean stew. I just wash the beans and I'll place the beans in the pot and cook the beans until it is soft. Now I'm going to cover the beans and I'll allow the beans to cook for 1 hour. As I didn't soak my beans, this is the time it's going to take for the beans to cook. If you soaked your beans, it should take about 4 to 5 minutes. I'm now going to season the beans with some salt and I will cover and I'll allow the beans to continue cooking. In 45 minutes, I will check to see if the beans are getting soft. 45 minutes later, time to check on the beans to see how soft they are. I'm just checking the beans using my fingertips and just squeezing some of the beans at the tip of my fingers, and at this point the beans were still a bit hard. I covered and allowed the beans to continue simmering for 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, making a cooking process 1 hour. I'm now going to check on the beans to see how soft they are. I'm just mashing some of the beans down using a small spoon, and the beans are soft. I'm now going to turn off my cooker. I'll set the beans aside and time to start on the stew. Now to my blender, I'm going to add the Scotch Bonnet, the ginger, the garlic, and the onions. I will add a bit of water and I'll blend this till smooth and set this aside. To my blender, I've added the tinned tomato and I'm going to blend this till smooth and I'll set this aside. Next, I'm going to chop my onion and I'll set this aside for later use. To my pan, I'm adding the coconut oil and I'll allow this to melt before I add the chopped onions. Once the coconut oil has melted and the oil is nice and hot, I'm adding the onions and I'll be frying this until it's fragrant and translucent. Now I'm adding the blended pepper mixture, and to this I'll also be adding tomato puree. After adding the tomato puree, I'm going to mix everything together and I'll allow the sauce to simmer for about 5 minutes. After adding the blended tomatoes, time to season the sauce. I'm using Adobo Seasoning, Badia Complete Seasoning, white pepper, paprika, all-purpose seasoning, Aromat, mixed herbs, and Maggi cube crayfish. Feel free to season the sauce according to your taste. Next, I will cover and I'll allow the sauce to simmer for 10 minutes until the oil settles at the top. Occasionally, I will stir to minimize the sauce from burning. If you are going to use cooked meat for your bean stew instead of fish, add the cooked meat at this stage and cover and allow the sauce to simmer for 10 minutes. I removed the lid just to give the sauce a stir to minimize it from burning. But guys, if I tell you the sweet aroma that is coming from this sauce right now, it smells amazing. I covered and allowed the sauce to continue. Now I remove the lid again and I'm stirring. Next, I will be adding the cooked beans before I add the tinned mackerel. Now time to add my tinned mackerel fillet. The mackerel fillet was in sunflower oil. Because I didn't need the excess oil, I drained and I discarded the oil. If you're using mackerel fillet in brine, remember to discard the excess water. You don't want your bean stew to be watery. If you're going to use grilled mackerel, break up the mackerel and add it to the stew at this point. Next, I will mix everything together and I'll allow the stew to simmer for 4 to 5 minutes. And the coconut bean stew is ready, guys. I cannot wait to tuck in because the aroma from the coconut oil is just doing bits. I will be enjoying this with some fried plantain. Thank you guys once again for joining me in my kitchen. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and please do not forget to like this video, share, comment below, subscribe to this channel and turn on your bell notification icon. I'll see you next time. Bye.